and attempting to infiltrate and occupy federal buildings wearing armor and face shields. The best money can buy, somebody's financing it. We're going to find out through Pam Bondi and Department of Justice who it is. They're already on it. Who's financing all this equipment? Very professional.
Do you think you're going to be able to stop Iran from enriching its?
I don't know. I did think so, and I'm getting more and more less confident about it. They seem to be delaying, and I think that's a shame. But I'm less confident now than I would have been a couple of months ago. Something happened to them, but I am much less confident of a deal being made. I would have said a deal would be made.
Something happened to them? Like,
no, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I really,
China talked them out of it?
I have instincts about things.
You think China talked them out of it?
No, I don't think China has anything to do with it. I just think maybe they don't want to make a deal. What can I say? And maybe they do.
So what does that mean?
There's nothing final.
What happens then?
Well, if they don't make a deal, they're not going to have a nuclear weapon.
Right.
If they do make a deal, they're not going to have a nuclear weapon too. But they're not going to have a nuclear weapon, so it's not going to matter from that standpoint. But it would be nicer to do it without warfare, without people dying.
Yeah.
It's so much nicer to do it. But I don't think I see the same level of enthusiasm for them to make a deal. I think they would make a mistake, but we'll see. I guess time will tell.
There's no misunderstanding today. This is a peaceful protest. This is a riot. We can tell the difference. The governor can tell the difference. Our law enforcement officers can tell the difference. In the event you didn't get that, let me show you something. This is a peaceful protest. This is looting. If you loot, the next thing you can try to steal is something off of your food tray at the county jail, because you're going to jail. That's a guarantee. And we're going to enjoy taking you down there.
Just in, prison buses are now rolling into downtown Los Angeles as we reach close to an hour into curfew. Many rioters are refusing to disperse.
We've been lied to from the very beginning. The politicians, California politicians, the mayor of Los Angeles, our governor, have completely failed in that nothing was happening in the beginning. It was allowed to spiral out of control, and then they have created this narrative that completely defies facts and a timeline that we know happened. And they keep calling it a peaceful protest, mostly peaceful, whatever they want to call it. But the reality is that law enforcement officers are being attacked, property is being destroyed, and it is out of control violence that really they're trying to deny for political gain.
I just got offered $200 a day to go protest ICE in New York. The organization was called No Kings. They said June 14th we're going to be protesting, and these are the streets that you need to be on, and this is what you need to do. You need to cause chaotic disruptions, and they said that there's going to be pallets of like bricks and different things everywhere that protesters could use. They really want to wreak havoc. It's kind of ridiculous. Me as an American, although I need the money, I'm like, this is very, very unpatriotic. If I was to go take this money and go protest, it's not very American. It's not what I stand for. It's obviously not even, worth the time. But, $200 a day is what they're paying people to go protest. The corruption is up here because it goes way beyond these organizations. They want to destroy America, and people like me, that need money are gonna go do it. I'm not gonna go do it, but people are gonna go do it. They're gonna go destroy, the city and cause chaos. It's just crazy that, they're even paying people to go do this. It just goes to show that everything we deal with is corruption, and these people at the top level, like, who's paying for this? There's got to be some billionaires paying for this so that, they could try to get Trump out or something. But, $200 a day to go cause chaos is, like, crazy. Not worth it, but also, like, really fucked up.
You said zeros must be gone before they revalue. Yeah, not quite the way that one's going to work. I see what he was trying to get across, though. They lift the value. He's talked about that a lot. Some gets lost in translation with him because English is not his first language. But I would be surprised. I'll have to reach out to him on that front, because that is nothing compared to what he said in the past, or what all of the white paper reforms, or what Soudani has said, Shabibi in the past, Saleh of recent. All right, now let's talk about on the bond side, guys. I had two bond contacts check in. They are expecting final contracts on Friday. One of them is not mine. One of them is a secondhand one, but it is one of the ones that has been MIA for me for since Friday or Saturday last week, that was expecting Tuesday night, is saying, hey, they have promised us at this point that we will have those final contracts Friday. I'm still looking for some folks with money. They did say that they are starting to get competition for some of their deals from the Chinese royals, or that banking family that we talk about. So I do think we are on go and tracking or trending in the right direction. It was good to hear something. Not exactly what I wanted to hear, but it was good to at least hear something, because it has been so painfully quiet on the bond side. That's what I got. Don't shoot the messenger. It is just what I was told.
Is anybody paying attention to what's happening in London? I'm going to say it here on the floor of the House to get the scorn of people when I say you've got a massive Muslim takeover of the United Kingdom going on right before our eyes. They always say, Chip, well, what is wrong with that? Well, I've got some pretty strong concerns about Sharia law and whether that'll be forced upon the American people. In this case, the people of the United Kingdom. I've got pretty strong concerns about people who want to see Israel's destruction, who were happy about October 7th, who were elected in the United Kingdom. Some might say that we've seen that here in the United States. What are we going to do about that? We have 51.5 million people who are foreign born in the United States. They have about 20 to 25 million kids. That puts that well over 20-some% of our population. It's the highest such number in the history of our country. People say, well, isn't that great? Is it? Are we teaching people about Western civilization? Are we teaching people about the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, the rule of law? Are we teaching them Western values? Are we teaching them God exists? Are we teaching them the importance of freedom? Or are we teaching an entire generation or two or three to run around complaining about what's wrong and why the entire world is against them because of their skin color, their sex, their supposed gender identity, whatever the hell category we create to make people have an excuse for not just stepping up and achieving the American dream?
Rumors are circulating that Trump is secretly preparing to take over the country and restore order on June 14th.
Well, look, this bill doesn't increase debt and deficits. We use an accurate baseline based on the real world. CBO and all of the independent watchdogs, that many of those, and we have agreed historically with much of the fiscal hawks perspective, but the watchdogs, including Congressional Budget Office, are using an artificial baseline. They're assuming that spending will continue into eternity, but current law tax levels will not. So if you have a sunset from the 2017 tax relief that occurs, extending current law tax level and making adjustments based on what the president campaigned on looks like an enormous cost. And so that's not what anyone in the world looking at their spending levels and their revenue levels would actually believe to be a fair accounting. And as a result, when you adjust for that massive gimmick that CBO uses, this bill reduces deficits by $1.4 trillion. It has historic, let me repeat the word historic, levels of mandatory savings, $1.7 trillion, welfare reform, other changes to the social safety net that has become, honestly, a benefit hammock in the last several years. We haven't seen anything like this since the 1990s. The level of that welfare reform was $800 billion. This adjusted for inflation. This is dramatically more as a result.
That's incorrect.
Excuse me. Let me get something straight with you first here. I've seen you interrupt everyone. When you come to someone's house, you respect their rules. And in this house, we don't interrupt individuals.
First of all, this is the people's house. I can say whatever the fuck I want. You work for me, bitch!
Will continue, but not all the planned protests will proceed as planned or succeed. And I asked why. Because of the military presence. And I said, well, what will this lead to? Martial law, curfews, and the EAS in some areas. So it sounds a whole lot like what we've been waiting for since what? 17?
Yeah, 2017. Yeah.
Trump is making an example of groups who get violent to deter others from doing so. Periodic blackouts are coming. I don't think this is going to be as massive as we originally thought.
Listen up, yo bitch-ass Democrats. We've been telling you that Donald Trump has done more in his first couple of months than Biden did his entire 4 years. Now I'm about to fucking prove it. Be ready to fact check me. During Biden's term, he sent out nearly $450 billion. You better fact check me because that's fucking correct. $450 billion to foreign countries for foreign aid. That's roughly $175 billion to Ukraine to support a war that shouldn't have been happening in the first place. Now, the government does typically have a budget for this, and it's right around $32 billion this year, which is a 47% cut under Trump. You heard me correct. I said fact check me. The normal budget's right around $60 billion. Trump came in through DOGE and cut that down to $38 billion through fucking tax cuts. That's right. We're no longer sending that money out to foreign aids. It's going right back into the country. So a 47% drop. How do you like that shit? Here's some more for you. The total amount of foreign investment dollars that Biden brought in his 4 years as president was roughly $890 billion. Now, that sounds like a lot until we start talking about what Trump's already done in his first 3 months as president. We're talking about roughly $3.5 trillion to be invested in the United States in just his first 3 months. Wow. You want to talk about a president who's here for America? He's bringing in investments. He's bringing in money for you. And all you want to do is wish the worst on him. We're talking about $3.5 trillion already committed to the United States. And Biden barely did $890 billion in 4 years. And a matter of fact, he sent out billions and billions of dollars to other countries. What the fuck is wrong with you? Biden sends out $450 billion in foreign aid, brings in $890 billion in investment dollars. That's not a very good deal. Trump lowers the foreign aid that's going out by 47%, and I'm sure that we're going to stick to that, and brings in $3.5 trillion in investment. Tell me again why we made a bad decision. No, you just don't like to win.
Current report posted on X. Breaking. U.S. Embassy in Iraq is preparing to receive an evacuation order following Iran's threat to strike American targets in the Middle East in the event of war. Reuters. Alert. This is what we're waiting for. Forwarded from Il Donaldo Trumpo. Poll. Democrat disaster. Legal migrants side with Trump and GOP, says CNN. Boom. Justin. U.S. President Trump signs executive order to create a flying cars pilot program and accelerate domestic drone production. Swisher 1776 posted on X 8:57 a.m. June 12, 2025. Alert, alert, alert. DEFCON alerts global threat monitor. The U.S. Embassy in both Bahrain and Kuwait are pulling non-essential staff. And monsoon, safety first. Pray for our troops. Swisher, Amen. Order from Aquila. Alert, oil prices skyrocketing right now. It's up to 69.125. Just in, U.S. Treasury Secretary Bessent says crypto stablecoins could lock in U.S. dollar dominance. Forwarded from BRICS News. Just in, U.S. State Department to order departure of non-essential personnel from U.S. embassies in Iraq, Bahrain and Kuwait. David J. Harris Jr. on X posted 8:47 a.m. June 12, 2025. U.S. orders evacuation of family members and non-essential personnel from its embassies in Iraq, Bahrain and Kuwait. Majeed posted on X 9:12 a.m. June 12, 2025. It has started. War begun. News about the bombings of the headquarters of the pro-Iranian militias near Fallujah. World War III scenario coming right up in 3, 2, 1. This was forwarded from J.R. admin for the Chosen Ones Telegram. He comments here, nothing going on here. And this was posted by Majeed, Iraq, Airspace now. RJA815. Royal Jordanian. Ooh, they're ready. From Aquila. The individual I spoke to says that the top brass of US and Israel must have got some serious credible intelligence that Iran may be already moving towards a N-bomb or already has precision of a crude one for the US to take such drastic measures. Forwarded from Aquila. Alert, alert, big breaking news. U.S. Defense Secretary Hegseth has authorized the voluntary departure of military dependents from locations across the entire Middle East. Also, we are not seeking nuclear weapons, Iran president says. And Middle East countries where the U.S. issued a warning so far: 1. Iraq, 2. Bahrain, 3. Qatar. Forwarded from Steve. U.S. preparing to evacuate embassy in Iraq over security risks, sources say. Reuters. U.S. to pull some personnel from the Middle East amid rising tensions with Iran. President Donald Trump said U.S. personnel were being moved out of the Middle East because it could be a dangerous place. Majeed posted on X 6:32 a.m. June 12, 2025. Started already. Warplanes patrol the skies of Anbar province after the announcement of preparations to evacuate the U.S. embassy in Baghdad. LFGGG. Ranjani, great news. Clandestine posted on X. Last edited 8:42 a.m. June 12, 2025. If Newsom and Bass want to keep playing this game, I am all for it. The Trump DOJ just proved they can and will indict Democrat politicians. They just indicted Dem Congresswoman LaMonica McIver for obstructing ICE. What are Bass and Newsom doing right now? Obstructing ICE. The bold libertarian. Bass at least must be arrested. Every single mayor of every single sanctuary city is breaking the law by aiding and abetting criminal behavior, and they must all be arrested. Are we a nation of laws or not? Chad, I'm here for it. We need to see them arrested and prosecuted for crimes committed. Tired of this two-tiered justice we've had for years. Brian, indictments is just the front, dude. Trump is moving in and moving in hard. Expect mass arrests and military tribunals. The parade is just a front. It had to be this way. It was never going to end with the courts or Congress passing new bills. Misfit Patriot. Never interfere with the enemy when they are in the process of destroying themselves. Bonewits. There is room in the slammer for some more California communists too. From the Meatmaster. GM will now invest $4 billion in the US to move more production out of Mexico. They plan to reopen an assembly plant in Detroit, Michigan. Forwarded from Sergeant News Network. Breaking. Israel is fully ready to move forward with an operation into Iran per CBS News. This is one reason US personnel are being moved out of embassies in the region, as US officials believe Iran could retaliate against US sites in Iraq. Alert, big breaking news. US Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth confirmed that Iran is actively working towards a nuclear weapon. News breaking. The US Embassy in Iraq is preparing for an ordered evacuation due to heightened security risks, reports Reuters, citing Iraqi and US sources. Earlier, Iran's Defense Minister Aziz Zadeh warned Tehran would strike US bases in the region if nuclear tensions with Washington escalate. Forwarded from Steve Bannon. Left California Democrats have 5 congressional seats they shouldn't have because they're counting illegals. Right Democrats have 27 congressional seats nationwide they shouldn't have because they're counting illegals. This is the only reason there are ICE riots planned nationwide. Without these seats, the Democrat Party would essentially cease to exist and they would never win another election. Benz posted on X 9:33 p.m. June 7, 2025. It's crazy this riot is in LA while the mayor of LA, Karen Bass, was for 6 years on the board of NED. The CIA cut out that specializes in starting riots and street protests. Before she helped the CIA start riots, she was a community organizer, professionally organizes protests. US Homeland Security News posted on X. 11:11 a.m. June 12, 2025. Alert, alert, alert. Update. Iran is considering launching a preemptive strike on Israel, using one of its nuclear weapons against Israel. Intelligence sources state Iran may have up to 8 to 9 nuclear warheads ready and deployed loaded on ballistic missiles. This is unlikely, but still an option. The United States has ordered all embassies within striking distance of Iran, from the Middle East to parts of Eastern Europe and North Africa, to convene emergency action committees and send cables to DC on their risk mitigation measures. It appears there is to be military action with Iran. Key sites for attack in Iran. Looks like the Zionists and Israel are starting another war, this time with Iran trying to suck in the USA. What is going on? Israel military action against Iran before July, 40% chance. All eyes on the Middle East. World War III scare, Black Swan, wake up the sheep. Trump playing hardball. Majeed posted on X. 7:45 a.m. June 12, 2025. Urgent, urgent. Red light is the Trump, green light. Ladies and gentlemen, that looks like a red to me. The information available to us is as follows. Trump gave Israel the green light. The US Embassy in Iraq is preparing for an orderly evacuation. It can only mean one thing. Trump gave Israel the green light to destroy Iran's nuclear facilities. The United States will participate in this attack. Prepare for war. Trump commands over 50,000 secret troops. They all have been deputized as federal marshals. You'll find out. Q. Digital dinar posted on X. And we are back. Reconnected feed again. 1 IQD equals $3.85 RLUSD. Before you comment that this rate isn't real, we effing know. Ask yourself why and who is testing this conversion. Convert Ripple USD RLUSD to Iraqi dinar IQD. Could at least give us the link. Just as I predicted, the feed from yesterday is now gone. X.com. Oh. I was listening to Melanie Hines on her YouTube channel yesterday, and she gave us a link, which is Coinbase, which is the same as what Digital Dinar is using. And it did come up earlier exactly how it's worded here. Convert Ripple USD RLUSD to Iraqi dinar IQD. So I removed the EN-AU, and it makes no difference. So I don't know how he's able to forward it from War Correspondent, a message from Captain Kyle. I warned you all that this was all still coming, and many didn't want to hear it. We must all go through a near-death experience, and a nation and also the world. This is when the EAS will come out, and you all asked for it to happen, and now it's time. The false hope that we could just get by without having to go to the death experience to birth our new world. I told you it was coming and to stay alert and prepared for it. The operation just started to go public. God's in control. Stay safe and keep your situation awareness on high alert. Don't get caught up in this stuff. Not for you. Kept Kyle. Just in. US House votes to advance first phase of Elon Musk's DOGE cuts, slashing $9.3 billion from US aid, NPR and PBS. Forwarded from Watcher Guru. Elon Musk called President Trump privately before issuing public apology. New York Times reports. Just in, US Treasury Secretary Bessent says if the debt limit is not resolved, it could trigger biggest financial crisis since 2008. Posted from @WatcherGuru. Forwarded from the General. Breaking. Governor Ron DeSantis says Floridians have the right to drive through protesters blocking the street if they believe their life is in danger. Donald J. Trump on Truth. The great, big, beautiful bill will grow the economy like it has never grown before. At the same time, it is cutting expenses by $1.6 trillion. It puts our country on the right track. Plus, Make America Great Again. Posted June 13, 2025, 12:07 a.m. Donald J. Trump on Truth. TrumpCard.gov. The United States of America. For $5 million, the Trump card is coming. Thousands have been calling and asking how they can sign up to ride a beautiful road and gaining access to the greatest country and market anywhere in the world. It's called the United States of America. The waiting list is now open. To sign up, go to TrumpCard.gov. Self-love will heal you, empower you, restore you, and open up new worlds within you and all around you. Self-love is the key to your mental, spiritual, and emotional health. Every aspect of your life thrives when you love who you are and accept yourself. It all begins with you. I just want to apologize I hadn't posted for over a week because I posted something about CT, you know what I mean? Also, not much intel in regards to the IQD, dinar, RV. Everyone's quiet. Wolverine posted a message and he basically said that his sources weren't talking. Bruce posted an audio yesterday and he posted an audio the previous week and Wolverine commented, "There was a nothing burger." Basically the information that Bruce gave last week and even this week, it was the intel from the previous week. So Bruce had also stated that his sources are really quiet. So maybe we're close. I hope so. Maybe with this those troublemakers in America, the world might bring on the EBS. I hope.